and his movement are exceptional. As I say, if he can improve some of the rest of his game, he could be in business.
Interesting. And what will those 2 goals and his all-round performance today in a game that matters so much do for his belief and confidence, Adi, as a goal scorer?
This a big moment, obviously, for a striker. If you're not scoring goals, I think the goal king is here. He will tell you about it. You'll be in doubt, and when you are going to game, you're panicking. When you see the goalkeeper, you don't know what to do. But today, scoring 2 goals when it matters the most, his belief would be, I think, too much right now. And now, obviously, this is the time for him to go and talk to his midfielders and tell them, give me the ball now, I'm ready. And this is the time that we need a striker that can give or that can bring the league into the club, which is him, obviously. If they have to win the league, he have to score another at least 10 more goals to the end of the season to bring the league, because he's the main striker for the club. If he's scoring only 10, 12 goals, you can't win the league with a third striker scoring 12 goals. So he have to find a way, talk to his teammate, and be the way he was today is unbelievable. But he have to keep going. He have to score more goals. He have to have more belief in his football. As he said, scoring goals, we all know his quality in front of the goal. But now he have to know how to link up play, chase the ball down, be calm. When he think the team need to come out, control the ball for your team and tell them to come forward. That's what we need, like a striker, to be able to win the league with Arsenal.
He's got 5 in 5 Premier League games now. Could he go on a run and help Arsenal go on a run at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. And North London Derby is the biggest game for him. You ask them Arsenal fans they're going to love him now. They'll be singing his name all the way home. You know, he's won the hearts of them. We talked about Eze in the first game. I mean, he's done nothing since. And all of a sudden he turns up here and he scored another 2 goals. He can have another rest for another 3 or 4 weeks now, Eze. I mean, he's done his job. This is the massive game of football. And Gyökeres to score in this will give him a huge amount of confidence to move forward. I just think he can still develop. If he's willing to develop, he could develop. Because some of the things he needs to learn, he should have already learned by now. You know, he spends so much time, Addy and Michael, fighting with Dragazin, and it can, you know, how much energy does that take up? You know, sometimes you just got to use your body, just knock people and come away. He's wrestling with them all game. Credit to him, he keeps going. I mean, he'll have a fight with anyone, but I just think he can use his body better, and I think he uses so much energy up, having a wrestle with the defenders time and time again, where his movement could be cuter.
Yeah, I can't believe how average he is in terms of the link play. And as you say, Tim, I'm watching him, I think, you are a big, strong guy, but it's almost like he's not even thinking of trying to win, just to try to make it difficult for the defender.
Yeah.
No, he's big enough to hold his position, as Addy said, chest the ball down, bring his team in. And if he's the building blocks for that, he'll then get more chances, because the team are actually, you know, attacking in the final third a lot more. But every time the ball comes, he just wants to fight and wrestle the defenders, and the ball just drops and they lose it every single time.
At some point, I was even surprised because I didn't even remember how the Premier League looked like, and seeing them fighting like they were not playing football. They were battling, actually. And sometimes they even forget the ball, both of them, and they're going somewhere and going shoulder against shoulder. But when you are playing against a defender that wants to fight, you don't fight. You use your head, use your brain, and control the ball, link up play, try to make a fake move. Instead of going inside, come outside, take the ball, and give it to... You have like the best midfielders in England. You have Bukayo Saka, you have Eze. Okay, today I'm playing against a defender. He likes to fight. I'm not going to fight. Let me go for the ball, find a way, find a space, 2-3 meters, take the ball, I give it to her. Then I move into the space. But he was also ready to fight, and that makes life so difficult for both of them.
OK, and let's also not forget that prior to this derby, Manchester City asked a huge question of Arsenal in terms of the title race, because they got over the line at home to Newcastle, Tim, and you saw at the end of this game what it meant to Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, I mean, O'Reilly, what a smash that is. I mean, this boy plays anywhere. What a player, what a find. It's so important you get academy boys through. And after the game, you're absolutely right. I've never seen Pep celebrate like that. It was significant. The fixture was, the result was... I mean, Newcastle just kept coming, because Semenyo played Marmoush and Haaland, and he left them up the field for a lot of the time.
And Haaland with the assist.
And O'Reilly again. I mean, he's 6'3", the boy. The boy's got everything, hasn't he? You know, he arrives in at the right time. But the celebration's just something I've not seen this early on in the season, both from his players and from Pep himself. It was incredible, and I think it was significant.
I wonder if that's a message. You know, a lot of the time in your career, sometimes a manager might just say, do you know what, if we win, so that might have been natural, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you'll just say, do you know what, let's have an extra little celebration. Let's, you know, show somebody that we're challenging.
Well, those are the things for sure Pep Guardiola would do, because obviously we all knew that Newcastle is coming out from Champions League where they won 5-6-0, 6-1. So the confidence was big. So he wanted to send a message out, and the message was quite sent properly.
So, as we can see, match week 33, we know that huge game at the Etihad. They're the fixtures both of them have got prior to that. They both actually have to play Chelsea in that period. How do you see this title race between your two former clubs now?
Obviously, as I said again, I think I'm going to rely more on experience. Obviously, when it comes to experience, the manager has won it a couple of times already, if not 4 or 5 times in the Premier League. And he has a players that has won it already. And he adds some more fresh air into the team, like Semenyo, like some few players. And I think when it comes to experience, I will give it to them. Obviously, Arsenal, what they show today, they show character, they show personality. But can they do that for the next 10 games? I don't think so. But if you ask me what they have done, what Man City have done against Newcastle yesterday, can they do it for the rest of the season? I would definitely tell you yes.
Interesting.
So for me, yeah.
How big a statement was that from Arsenal today, though, under that pressure?
Absolutely. On the back of a little wobble over the last few weeks, certainly against Wolves when they were 2-0 up, to come to the Lions' Den was a big challenge for them. They calmed the crowd down. They got an early goal, professional performance. I thought they were a different class. OK, now the King of Togo needs to retire to his throne because he's been on those very talented feet for so... Oh, that's very interesting indeed. Now, of course, Arsenal have won away at Spurs for the 4th season in a row. Last time that happened, 1955. Here's the manager who's led them to it, Mikel Arteta.
Mikel, congratulations. That's a particularly dominant second half, I thought.
And the first one, I think even more probably, and the result probably should have been very different. So really happy, really proud about the way we approached the game, the initiative, the composure that we showed, and the quality, of course. So it's never easy to come here and win the game, and in the manner that we've done it, I think the boys deserve a lot of credit.
Over the last 24, 36 hours or something, you sort of felt that people were sensing a weakness. I mean, you'd think Arsenal had fallen apart rather than just, you know, had one adverse result, but you really showed a lot of character today and quality, obviously.
That's the beauty of football. When you look back the game against Wolves, how the hell you draw a game there, it's just impossible to explain. There are no words to explain how this happened, but it happened, and you have to leave yourself up from the floor because you can feel sorry for yourself. But the reaction of the boys immediately was extraordinary, and I'm not surprised what they've done today because I'm with them every day and I know how much they want it.
I have to say, I don't think I've seen Victor Gyökeres play better in an Arsenal jersey.
He was outstanding today, I thought. And he's been glimpses of that in the last few weeks, but today I think his overall performance was incredible.
And obviously, Eze gets a couple of goals as well after his hat-trick back in November. That's extraordinary, isn't it? 5 goals against Tottenham in one season. They'll be building a statue.
That's unbelievable. But, yeah, he had that in his recent memory probably, and he had that belief, and I'm really happy with him because he's really trying to mold and adapt to the way that we want to play, and we are trying to do the same for him, and I think today he had a really good game.
If it goes all the way to the end of the season, and it might, you look like a side who are up for that challenge.
I mean, we know this is the Premier League. He's going to go all the way till the end, that's for sure. 10 games in the Premier League is a long, long marathon. You can see where teams are winning, where teams are not dropping points just in the last second for millimetres. These are the margins.
They certainly are the margins, and for Eberechi Eze, they're the margins as well, because we mentioned his hat-trick in the first 4-1 win on his North London derby debut, but look at his form and his opportunities, actually, in the 15 Premier League games since. He only started 4 of them, came on in 7, didn't appear in 4 at all. He's only played an average of 33 minutes per game since scoring a hat-trick against Spurs, and then pops up and scores twice on his recall. I mean, it's an amazing story, really, isn't it?
It is. Talk about a big game player.
But there's a huge frustration in there personally for him.
Absolutely, but look at the competition that Arsenal have got in those positions. It's quite staggering how good some of the players are. And we spoke again before the game about players that have got a good record against a certain team. He scored a hat-trick earlier on in the season. That had to be in Mikel Arteta's brain, in his mind when he was picking the team today. There's other players on that bench that got the credentials to start in a huge game like today, but we've been there before, haven't we? You play against a team, you score a few goals, you feel as if you're going to do it all the time.
Yeah. That's actually true. When you have a chance to score against one team that season, home and away, then every season became a routine. It's something that you keep repeating, and that's why you see some players, they score, 20 goals against a team during their career, and I'm pretty sure if they play 10 games against Tottenham, he will be the top goal scorer in this North London derby for sure.
But why in those 15 games in between the two derbies, Tim, has the manager not trusted him to start virtually none of them?
No idea. I mean, Noddy's played well. Madueke has done really well. Odegaard's got back to fitness, and I think even today when he comes on, he's such a leader. You know, he comes on the pitch and the intensity of the press, and he makes a goal for Eze as well. I just think he's a good player. I think he needs to be more consistent, Eze. I think it was good management today by putting him in. I mentioned it at the start. It's exactly what I would have done, because he was probably, if it's not Arsenal today, he don't play. If it's not Tottenham today, he does not play in that fixture.
And that graphic proves it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, because he's not warranted it. He's not done enough.
And I also think no matter where we sit here, you have to look into during the week. How was he training also? Because when we are going towards some game, you can see some players in training, they are different. Because that's their game. You can just tell and feel it in training that this game you can play. Obviously, if Arteta didn't play him for so long and put him today and he's scoring 2 goals, which means Arteta is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted, because if you are doing quite well in training, then you can just tell that, okay, this player is ready for this weekend game. I will put him in no matter what, because what he's showing in training. We were watching the warm-up. He was scoring some goals at the warm-up. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
With him, we were laughing. I have never scored goals like that, even in a game during my career. But he was scoring those goals during warm-up. So you can just tell he was made for today's game and he was ready for it.
And let's not forget, Steve, he was at Tottenham.
Yeah.
He was in a white shirt. Everyone went to bed at the Tottenham persuasion thinking that Eze is going to sign the next day, and he turns up at the Emirates in a red shirt, and he's done that to him on 2 occasions now. Heartbreaking.
Indeed.
Rest of his game that could be brushed up, but he scores a couple of goals, and who cares about the rest of his game?
Absolutely. Well, it's a big result, obviously, in the title race. We'll get all the Arsenal reaction and talk about Arsenal and Manchester City very, very soon. But it was a big day for Igor Tudor, his first game in charge of Spurs, the temporary manager. It ended in that 4-1 defeat, and here is the Croatians' reaction.
Well, Igor, obviously you've not had too many days to work with the players. Given that context, what did you make of that performance?
No, I'm sad because it was not good enough. Arsenal was much better. In this moment was too much gap between two teams. In this, I would say, psychophysic situation, even regarding the problems we had to make 11 plus 3. So it's good to show and to see this kind of team, in the start, to show us where we need to be. So it's all about work, start to work hard, because we struggle in a lot of things. For sure, psychologically we need to come up from this moment. Only way is to work. Stay quiet, stay humble, understand where we are now, and look at in the future, day by day, growing day by day, week by week. It's too strong for us in this moment.
So what's the biggest thing you've learned from what you've seen from your team today?
The
biggest thing you've learned from seeing your team close up today?
That we need to work. Too much bad habits in the past time. Each of us, each of part of the team, we need to look ourselves and grow. Be humble, as I said before, and it's all about work. So we need to run more. We need to play better. We need to defend it better. We need to win duels. They can do the second balls. So we prepare these 4 or 5 days. But as I said before, in this moment they were faster. There was even I can say that the players wanted. They showed the passion. They wanted to do. They wanted to run, but we press high. They don't arrive or take the ball in a block. They are stronger. They have more power, more energy. You know, they believe more. Also, that's the key in the end. They believe more, and that's it.
So that's Igor Tudor's reaction to today. What do you think he might have learned in his first competitive game, Tim?
It's going to be more difficult than maybe he had imagined. I think his job is to keep them in the Premier League. I think he will achieve that. One thing is very positive, that not all the teams are as good as Arsenal. So he's placed away at Fulham, which they're capable of beating, even with the injuries what they have. They should be able to perform better there. At home to Palace, which is a must-win game. If they wasn't to win them, it's unthinkable. If they don't get anything out of them 2 games, I mean, they really are in a dogfight. And I think he knows how difficult the task is going to be now. I think he's absolutely spot on. They were too good. They were too good for Tottenham, unfortunately. But I played in a lot of these derbies where against the opposition who were too good and we still get results. There is a way to find a result, but today they couldn't find that formula.
In the second half, what was the difference?
There's a big difference in quality, to be honest. Even
just that from a Spurs point of view?
I think in derbies you're gonna work hard. I thought all players go out and you work hard, and you have to in a game like this and try and get the fans up. But at some stage you have to have a spell with the ball and show a little bit of quality.
Yeah.
Even with the build-up, I don't know what they're trying to do with the build. To try and, if you're doing it, you want to try and get out. So Arsenal running back towards their own goal weren't happening. You try to be aggressive at times, but when you get aggressive, then you have to make contact, not making contact, and Arsenal just getting through. So there's loads of things. The manager alluded to it, to be honest. There's a lot of bad habits, but I just feel like there was a big difference in quality.
And those habits, has he got time with his new system on the training field to change them?
The only thing I can take out of this game positivity is like when they start the game, the first 10-15 minutes, you can see how they refuse to give up. And you can tell the first 15 minutes was for Arsenal. They're pressing them, they're playing quite well, they're moving the ball from left to right. And Tottenham stay at the back and they defend quite well. And when you see the way they defend on the set pieces is just unbelievable. And I have a chance to have a little chat with Mohamed Kudus. He said with this manager, the mentality is already changing. The way we defend is different. You can see everyone, Bissouma trying to run everywhere and trying to defend as high as possible. Obviously, don't get it twisted. There is not a lot of teams like Arsenal in this league. So for me, when they will go to, without disrespecting anyone, when they will have a chance to go to maybe Fulham, maybe Birmingham, maybe, I don't know, Everton, it's not going to be the same opponent as Arsenal. With the quality they have up front, it was very difficult for them, but they hang in there. They do their job properly in the first half. Second half, as he said, German, it was difficult to see the quality of Arsenal in the second half. They couldn't follow. No matter how you want to help, no matter how you are motivated to give everything that you have, at some point, we are human beings. It's blood that we have in our vein. You can't just run anymore. And that's what happened today in the second half.
It's more than just running. He mentioned there running, didn't he? When he come in, he said, we need to run more. There's certain kilometres. He's got his eye on that. He's come to the right place if he just wants runners. But Jermaine's absolutely right. You need quality as well. You need strikers. You've got enough strikers there. I mean, he's brought off... What's he brought on the pitch? Solanke and Richarlison. You're talking about £140 million worth of strikers coming off the bench. And they never even started the game. Kolo Muani started. Yeah. But where are they creating the chances? Where's the guile? Where's that? Look, he needs to find 3 results, 3 wins, and they stay in the league, and then his job is done. But I'm afraid, I've said it when he come in here, you're not going to get any pats on the back for finishing 12th at Tottenham. I mean, it's 12th for Tottenham. And that's if he does a good run between now and the end of the season. Very, very good. And can you see him winning the Champions League? I mean, no, is the answer.
I was going to answer for you then, but then you delayed it. Yeah, we all agree. We're all going to say that. No, I mean, the guys are right. You can't play top-flight football and just defend and just run and just be hard to beat. I mean, you've got to have at some point a little bit of quality in your team to keep the ball, to create chances. Have you just sit on the edge of your box all game and defend, you'll never get anything in this league. So they've got a lot to work on. I did think that the crowd were, obviously, it's a derby. I thought they were with the team today.
Yeah.
I thought, Spurs did put a shift in. I think they did cover the ground. I think they did want it. They were just totally outclassed. That sometimes can happen. However, there will be calmer waters, and they need to pick up points and pick them up quickly, because all of a sudden they're looking over their shoulder. They're only 4 points clear of West Ham now, who are playing really well. Crystal Palace got a good result today. Teams around them are starting to pick up points. So the R word, I don't want to say it too loud around here, but it's about to be spoken.
What about the M word? Mentality then. Do you see enough in the players that are fit enough to try and help Igor Tudor in this situation? Particularly here, like Michael says, I know it was a derby, but there was a different atmosphere to what it's been at home so far this season for Tottenham.
They're going to have to create it going forward, because obviously in a derby, you're always going to get atmosphere like this, but maybe the other games, maybe you're not going to get the same atmosphere, so the players have to try and create it. And when we talk about working hard, the reason why you run around is to get the ball back. Then you get the ball back, then what do you do with it? But I feel like today you saw an Arsenal team in the first half, they pin you back and they sort of like suffocate you, and they go side to side and they pick their moments, then they go through and they mix up, then they get across, so they mix it up, but then you get the ball back. Tottenham have got to do the same at some stage. You have to do the same, you have to pick your moments to move the ball quick, people have got to move, then you've got to go through, you've got to get into like a structure and a little bit of rhythm. If you're not seeing no rhythm and you're getting the ball back, you're turning it over, you're getting the ball back, it becomes difficult. That's the quality I'm talking about, and you didn't see that. So it is going to be hard, but the players have no choice. You have to find something, because at the end of the day, when the games are running out and then teams in and around you are getting results, then, especially if you've not been in this situation before, it becomes really difficult.
Interesting. Listen, we don't need reminding of your popularity around here, so we have to say goodbye to you. But as